Hey everyone, this is Eric with Option Edge, and in today's video we're going to talk about extrinsic value versus intrinsic value and why they are so important to know to be a profitable options trader. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, what's up everyone? It's Eric with Option Edge, and we're looking at intrinsic and extrinsic value of options, okay? And we're going to discuss why this is important to know. So the cost of the option when you're buying options is the premium. So if you were going to buy a option that costs $5, that's literally what the premium is. If you're going to sell that, you receive a credit of $5. Okay, so premium is what you pay or the credit you receive when you're selling options. So the premium of options is going to consist of intrinsic value and extrinsic value. Okay, if you have an in-the-money option, a certain portion of that in-the-money option will consist of intrinsic value, and a certain portion of that option contract or the premium will be extrinsic value. And something to know is out-of-the-money options will have zero intrinsic value, okay? And if you don't know exactly what that means, I have another video coming out about in-the-money and out-of-the-money options and what exactly that means. But if you understand that concept between in-the-money and out-of-the-money, then please keep following along. So let's go to the next slide here. So premium, the way it's calculated is intrinsic value plus extrinsic value, and that's what the last slide sort of showed. So let's do an example here. So we have a stock that is currently trading at $100. Okay, we bought the $90 call option. So $90 is the strike price. Okay, stock is currently trading at $100. Okay, the price of the contract is trading for $13. Okay, so let's look here. So this is a representation of the value of the option contract, and it's broken down into intrinsic value and extrinsic value. So this option contract is $10 in the money. And how do we calculate that? We take the current stock price minus the strike price. Okay, so that means we are $10 in the money. There is the only then we have to account for the extrinsic value of this option contract. Okay, so this because this contract is trading for $13, that's the total premium. Let's go back one slide. Remember, total premium is $13. $10 is the intrinsic value, and then the extrinsic value is going to be the difference. Okay, so here, if it's trading for $13, we have $10 of intrinsic value. $3 is going to be extrinsic value. Okay, and something else to keep in mind is if we have a call option that is an $80 strike, we're now and the stock is trading at $100. What you're going to see is this is now, what is the intrinsic value of that? Well, it's the stock price minus the strike, so that's $20. Okay, and if you notice here, the extrinsic value is now smaller. So the deeper in the money an option goes, the less and less extrinsic value there will be in the contract. And the reason for that is it's sort of your options start to trade more and more like stock. Okay, and stock has an extrinsic value of 0. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. So we talked about intrinsic value. Okay, now let's talk about extrinsic value. So extrinsic value is made up of two components. And one of the components is time, and the other is implied volatility. So it's hard. The one thing we can calculate how much intrinsic value is exactly and how much extrinsic value there is exactly, but it's difficult to calculate the exact time value and the exact implied volatility of the contract. So together, these both make up the extrinsic value. So here's a breakdown of a options value over time. Okay, so we're going from the start. We open this position, let's say at 45 days till expiry, and as we go from left to right, we get to 0 days to expiry. So when we first start out, we have a options contract that consists of time value and implied volatility value. Okay, so as time passes, you can see the time value is decreasing during each one here. So right here, you can see, however, that the value of the contract actually went back up to where it was currently trading. And that's because implied volatility actually expanded. Okay, so as time goes on, time will always be decreasing, and that's what you see here. But implied volatility can contract and expand while you're buying or selling options. So if you're a seller of an option here, you want to see the value of the option go down and down, and you don't want to see implied volatility expand because it's worth more now. If you're a buyer of an option, you want the implied volatility to expand because now it'll be worth more. Okay, so this is just a quick little view of how extrinsic value is priced here. So let's do a quick example of Apple. So let's hop over to Robinhood, and then we'll come back and I'll explain all this here. All right, here we are on Robinhood's, and we're looking at Apple, and we're going to just do an example of how to calculate the extrinsic value and intrinsic value of Apple. So we're using expiry of date of April 14th, and we want to buy the 130 call in Apple, okay? And look at the share price. Share price is currently trading at 162.16. I think in the next slide I have it listed as 162.95. So let's go with 162.95. And the current price of the contract is $33.60. Okay, so let's go back and look at the numbers here. All right, here we are back at our screen here. So remember, the option premium is going to cost $33.60. The current stock price is $162.95. So we remember our formula for calculating premium and intrinsic value and extrinsic value is the intrinsic or in the moneyness of the option plus the extrinsic value is going to give us the option premium. Okay, so let's first calculate the intrinsic value or the in the moneyness, so to speak. So to do that, we are going to take the price of the stock. Okay, stock's currently trading at 162.95. And then we're going to take the strike price. So what we get almost $33 is in the money. So that solves this portion of the formula. Next, we already know the premium. Okay, premium is $33.60, and the intrinsic value is almost $33 at $32.95. All right. So all we have to do is do a little algebra, and we just subtract from the premium. We subtract the intrinsic value to derive extrinsic value. And you'll see that the extrinsic value of this option is going to be 65 cents only. And the reason why it's so little is because, let's go back to Robinhood. Let me show you. It's so little because if we take a look at the delta, and remember delta, the closer to 1 the delta is, the more it's going to behave. The option contract is going to behave like 100 shares of stock. Okay, so the delta here is almost at 94, okay, or 95. So if we go, let's look. If we go to let's go to a $150 option contract. So the delta here, let's go to 155. All right, so the delta is a little bit smaller, so it's a 69 delta. If we do a little quick arithmetic here, we have the 150.5 call strike, and let's do a quick arithmetic. All right, I was going to open up my calculator, but I thought it'd be easier to just go on an Excel spreadsheet and look it up. So, okay, stock price is at 162.95. I think before it said 162.16, but I'm going to stay with the stock price I was using before. The strike price is 155. So in order to calculate the intrinsic value, we take the stock price and subtract the strike price from it, and that's showing what we do here. Boom. That's going to give us an intrinsic value of almost $8, okay? And to calculate the extrinsic value, we're going to take the premium paid, that's how much the contract costs, and we're going to subtract the intrinsic value that we just found, and that's going to give us, so that just shows you what we did here, premium paid minus the intrinsic value, it's going to give us the extrinsic value of almost $4, and compare that to the 65 cents of the 94 Delta Apple contract. So that's sort of it. Just a quick little recap of extrinsic value versus intrinsic value and how sort of that all plays out. So hope you guys learned a lot, and see you guys next time. Like and subscribe.